it sometimes feels to me like the forest is almost just like a black hole, as if it's not there at all, really, as if it's like antimatter, you know, anti-land, you know, because it's just so dark and inaccessible. I think literally it was planted, the gate was shut, and they walked away, and it hasn't really played any part in this community since then, you know. I feel that this community and is not unlike many rural communities, and that many of which have been in decline for a long time. It's like they've been forgotten, you know, and they've just been left to slowly fade away. And unless something happens to reverse that kind of decline and reverse the patterns that have, you know, become prevalent, then then I guess many rural communities will die. They will have nothing left to keep people there. There won't be jobs or, you know, opportunities for people anymore. But the hope here is that we can, you know, with that forest resource, that we can reverse that history of decline, or not reverse it, but set it on a path where that decline is stopped and it's actually regenerating.
The housing scenario here is in a desperate situation that local people cannot afford to buy houses here. I've been renting a place for the last 5 years, so there's no place that I would be able to afford in the village, and there hasn't been for a while. So that's really my situation. I have to rent, so I'm wasting money every month in my eyes. But I'd rather be putting it into an investment of a property. Blacks have been in Tinnebrook in the Sounding area for a long time. My father used to run the local electrical business. That's how I kind of grew up helping him with that. That's really all I can say. I mean, I can tell you things like my grandfather drove the first car in the village. He worked in Arlamont Estate, and he was the first person to drive a car in the local area. He was the chauffeur for the big house. Each one of these holiday homes used to have two parents and kids in them, where the father would work in, say, the forestry, mother would work in a local shop, and the two kids would go to the school. Now that is just eradicated, but when they're holiday homes, so that is a huge impact on the village, I think. Nearly all the time they're empty, apart from holiday seasons like Easter. School, when the school holidays are out, people will make the effort to come and come for their weekend or their week in their holiday home. I would really like to build my own house. It seems probably like the closest scenario to actually having a house, because there's no way I could afford to buy a house in Tinnebrook.
Um, we bought a house 12 years ago. It took 2 years to renovate, so we moved in 10 years ago. And the family's grown since then, up to 4 children. Seen quite a lot of change in the village, even over those 10 years. There's more homes have been sold as holiday homes, so there's less permanent residents here. The school population does fluctuate quite a lot. It was up to 70 children and it's gone down to as low as 30, which makes the school struggle to manage to survive. And if the school shuts, then it's a disaster for the village. Quite a few of my children's friends have moved on, and some are still moving on. Maisie's going to lose another friend soon who's moving away. So yeah, there is a definite decline in families. So families do struggle. There's very little for them. As I say, they leave the village to go to the high school, and quite a lot of them will go to university after that. And there's very little in the village that brings them back again. There's few jobs and there's little training opportunities here at the minute. So it means they're sort of getting used to being out of the village, and from 11, 12 years old, being away at secondary school, and it sort of gets built in, so they end up feeling closer to Dunoon in a way than they do to Tunabrew. But I like it out here, but I do find it difficult with the kids travelling to school every day. So we are still in sort of in two minds. We don't know where our future lies.
The Kilfinan Community Forest Project has been going for about 4 years now.
Yep.
And the aim of the project is to acquire an area of forest from the Forestry Commission and use that area of forest to deliver a range of benefits to this community. It's really a rural regeneration project, so we're looking to create employment and work opportunities for people, create housing opportunities, recreational opportunities and education, and improve biodiversity in the forest. And from extensive community consultations that have been carried out over that 4-year period, the same issues came up again and again. And the key ones were lack of affordable housing, lack of employment opportunities, and lack of permanent residence in the area. Those were the key three that kept coming up again and again. And this project is trying to solve those issues, create solutions to those problems, using that forest asset as the basis. We've had a lot of ups and downs. We've had some things that we could never have predicted, you know, and every public funder that we have approached over the last 2 years altogether, I suppose, in a way, have not been happy about putting public funding back into a public agency, which the Forestry Commission is.
Yeah, this is one of the main obstacles we've found.
There's definitely we seem to have been caught between the public funders making a stance that they are not putting public funding into the Forestry Commission, and the Forestry Commission saying they will not accept a reduced valuation. So we've kind of found ourselves, because they're not able to without the minister's approval. So really the ball is back in the Scottish Government's court now to find a way forward for the Land Reform Act and the National Forest Land Scheme.
Yeah, and it has been acknowledged by all our agencies, the Forestry Commission, by the ministers, that there is a problem in that there's no public funding available for this. Because the fact that if communities have to raise millions and millions of pounds to buy, you know, tracts of land to deliver a range of benefits on behalf of the government, then that's money that the community are raising that's flying straight out of the community, and that doesn't make sense.